Hello and welcome to Kashmir Now. I'm your host Shreya Savijay. Let's take a look at some stories of this week's episode. India is stepping up efforts to combat coronavirus spread. Activists slam Pakistan for exploiting its illegally occupied region of GB and POK to achieve its own nefarious agendas. Community schools retrieve educational activities in Baramulla. Radio's popularity continues to increase in Jammu and Kashmir. And Srinagar's regional passport officer felicitated by the Ministry of External Affairs. As the number of coronavirus cases are witnessing a sharp rise in India, the government has stepped up its fight. The authorities have been working round the clock to organize more facilities for both who have contracted the virus and those who are vulnerable. And it is due to these sustained efforts that they were in position to lift some more restrictions in country's second round of unlock, a phased transition from lockdown to normalcy. Have a look.
The malls in satellite cities of capital New Delhi opened as the federal government eased restrictions on public places during the second phase of the reopening of month-long lockdown. The move came in the line of Indian government slowly restarting economic activities in a bid to get the economy back up after the lockdown imposed in March left millions without work. People visiting the malls are adhering to the set of guidelines issued by the government so that a further surge of infections could be prevented. Security staff won't allow anyone without essential protectives.
फेस मास्क हर आदमी के ऊपर होगा और हैंड ग्लोव हर आदमी के पास, पीपीटी किट इशू होगा, वो भी इंडिविजुअल आदमी का जो भी प्रॉपर चेकिंग होगी और जो भी कस्टमर आते हैं उनका सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग का चेकिंग करने का तौर तरीके से एज पर एसओपी।
बड़ा अच्छा लग रहा है कि लाइक होता है कि जैसे बड़े दिन बाद मॉल खुला है, काफ़ी टाइम हो गया था घर बैठे बैठे बोरिंग टाइम था, ऑफिस खुले हैं काफ़ी टाइम में, तो बड़ा अच्छा फील हो रहा है, गुड फील हो रहा है।
Unlike the decisions many European and American countries took, which subsequently doomed, Indian government decided to put in strict restrictions at early stages and saved itself from getting overwhelmed with infected numbers. Integrated efforts of the states and federal government with an overwhelming public support have put India ahead of many developed countries in fight against the coronavirus. Today, the positive cases per million in India stand at 357 against global average of 1,250. While Indian mortality rate is 11 against the global number 63.2, its recovery rate has been 57%. The government says it has been relentless and has been ramping up all facilities across the country.
जून तक हमने 30,000 बेड बन जाएंगे। रेलवे कोचिस के अंदर 8,000 बेड बने और 8,000 की तैयारी है, मगर मैं अभी 8,000 ही गिन रहा हूँ। डीआरडीओ एक एक्सक्लूसिव कोविड अस्पताल बना रही है जिसमें 250 आईसीयू बेड भी होंगे, विथ वेंटिलेटर होंगे, वो अलग से बने हैं। और 10,000 का आईटीबीपी संचालित राधा स्वामी सत्संग न्यास के बड़े कैंपस के अंदर बारिश की सीजन को ध्यान में रखकर हमने बेड बनाए हैं, इसको आईटीबीपी संचालित करें।
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Narendra Modi extended the poor food welfare campaign by 5 more months. This will ensure free food grains to 800 million people till November. PM Modi said, that the government will keep providing free food grains to the poor section of the society due to the increased need during the festivals.
ये फैसला लिया गया है कि प्रधानमंत्री गरीब कल्याण अन्न योजना का विस्तार अब दिवाली और छठ पूजा तक यानी नवंबर महीने के आखिर तक कर दिया जाएगा। हम गरीब, पीड़ित, शोषित, वंचित हर किसी को सशक्त करने के लिए निरंतर काम करेंगे। हम सारी एहतियात बरतते हुए इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटीज को और आगे बढ़ाएंगे।
The state governments too are working hand in hand with the federal government to minimize the troubles created due to coronavirus. In one such effort, Delhi government recently introduced video calling facility in one of the city's hospital to help COVID-19 patients interact with their loved ones. Tablets with Wi-Fi enablement have been set up at every ward in the hospital for patients' ease of communicating. For families and friends, tablets have been installed at the help desk to enable them to talk to the patients.
Most of the times relatives are not aware how is the condition of the patient. We are not able to explain it to them also. So it's better to see them with their own eyes. And I am sure this psychotherapy, with this psychotherapy, the patients are getting relieved, they are getting better, and the relatives are also very happy.
Even after the increasing number of COVID-19 cases in India, Indian government is undeterred in its efforts to keep corona at bay and has been continuously taking a number of measures to help citizens deal with this corona menace.
Moving on, the state of affairs has declined from bad to worse in the illegally occupied territories of Gilgit-Baltistan and Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. And the plights have grown twofold. While on one side, Pakistan's deep state of army has been tightening its grip on the region by regularly increasing its troops deployment, on other, it has been sponsoring terrorist groups in these regions to derive profits, pushing the illegally occupied territories to a complete oblivion. Human rights activists have time and again expressed their concerns, but sadly have received no support thus far. We have a report. No matter how much solidarity Pakistan's Prime Minister Imran Khan expresses with the people of its illegally occupied territories of Gilgit-Baltistan and Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, the reality on ground will always remain contrary to Khan's much-hyped claims on camera. Pakistan is least concerned about its illegally occupied territories and has only exploited the resources for the last 7 decades, and now, at the behest of its federal government in Islamabad, Chinese companies too are doing the same. Moreover, at the same time, Pakistan is also aware of the fact that its nefarious activities will definitely lead to great uprising amongst the locals in future, and as a result, it is mulling massive army deployment in the region, which has been strongly criticized by the activists of the region.
Pakistan and China are both natural and strategic allies. They are both non-democratic countries, they are both non-secular countries, and they have joined hands to loot Pakistani-occupied Gilgit-Baltistan and Jammu Kashmir resources. they know that public will rise against them, and to deal with that uprising, this future uprising, they are planning ahead. Pakistan is sending troops so that when there is public uprising against Pakistan and China alliance and this looting of resources, they can deal with that uprising, and they can crush that uprising. That is the main objective of sending troops to the line of control.
Activists also say that Pakistan has been investing a large sum of its money on army, which further use it to sponsor terrorist groups. Moreover, to justify its actions, Pakistan tries to create an atmosphere of terror among the people of GB and POK about India, so that it can tell the international community that it is using the money to safeguard them.
Pakistan is known as the hub of international terrorism, and this is Pakistani army which has produced this terrorism, which sponsors this terrorism, and then Pakistani army exports this terrorism. Now Pakistan spends bulk of her budget on army rather than education, health, science, technology and other facilities. So Pakistan needs to justify that why this budget is being spent on army rather than social needs. So Pakistan needs an active conflict so that people feel threatened, and Pakistani army can justify that this is the reason we are asking for a bigger chunk of money for ourselves, because if we are not ready to fight India, then obviously public would be not safe and secure.
Pakistan has been exploiting the illegally occupied region of Gilgit-Baltistan and POK for the past 7 decades and has committed a number of atrocities in order to suppress the people of the region and keep them marginalized. As the famous saying goes, education is the movement from darkness to light. Educating the workforce of a nation becomes its pathway towards development and prosperity. However, due to the coronavirus pandemic, education system has come to a standstill, with schools being closed to curb the virus spread. So, in order to deal with such situation, community classes have been started by the authorities in Baramulla district of Jammu and Kashmir. Have a look.
With educational system being one of the most hit sectors due to COVID-19 outbreak and has taken a toll on children both academically and psychologically, Education Department in Baramulla district have come up with the initiative of community schools. Established with the help of local Awqaf committees and Panchayat Raj institutions, it aims to keep the educational practices continued among the students. All the necessary arrangements have been done by the authorities to ensure that students of all age groups can study in these community schools without any trouble.
सैनिटाइजर्स इशू किए हैं, बाकी ये सुविधाएं मुहैया करके रखी हैं टीचर लोगों के लिए, बच्चे लोगों के लिए। तो मैं एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन का भी तहे दिल से शुक्रिया अदा करता हूं, टीचर फ्रेटर्निटी का भी, और उम्मीद रखता हूं कि जो ये छोटे छोटे हमारी जो पौध है, हमारी जो बच्चे हैं, स्कूलिंग बच्चे हैं, ये इस कम्युनिटी स्कूलिंग का भरपूर फ़ायदा उठाएंगे। और ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ सिविल सोसाइटी हम इस इकदाम की सराहना करते हैं, और हमारे लायक भी इस मामले में कोई भी ये काम हो, कोई भी हमारा कोई कोई भी इस मामले में कोई रोल बन सकता है तो ऑलवेज एट द डिस्पोजल ऑफ एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन.
Under a community schooling system, a teacher in a particular area establishes a community level school wherein all students of that area come and study. Under the leadership of the Deputy Commissioner of Baramulla, Dr. G.N. Itu, it is being ensured that the students studying in these schools are provided with masks and sanitizers, and they adhere to the social distancing norms as measured to prevent the spread of virus. Though virtual learning is also being given preference across the valley, but sometimes the low internet connectivity becomes a major hindrance. In such a situation, the idea of community classroom is a most preferred one.
हम बहुत दिनों से घर में थे, हमारी पढ़ाई पे असर पड़ रहा था, तो आज यहाँ पर एजुकेशन डिपार्टमेंट आए, उन्होंने हमें मास्क दिए, सैनिटाइज दिए और हमारी यहाँ पे क्लासेस शुरू हो गई, कम्युनिटी क्लासेस. हम शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहेंगे एजुकेशन डिपार्टमेंट का सीईओ साहब का कि हमें यहाँ पे आए, क्लासेस शुरू करवाए, मास्क दिए, सैनिटाइज दिए.
Apart from Baramulla district, community schools have been started in other districts of Jammu and Kashmir as well. And this combination of community classes and virtual learning is really proving fruitful in solving the education woes to a great extent which have risen due to the COVID-19 crisis.
Media pundits who have been for the past few years chanting death knells for radio in India have now got their lips sealed, as this broadcast platform is not just standing alive but is still engaging huge audience across the country, successfully fighting off threats that it had to counter with the advent of cable TV and social media. Radio continues to evolve in the country. A glimpse of its popularity can be witnessed in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, where people are seen turning towards radio to attain all the reliable information. Moreover, in this COVID-19 scenario, radio has turned out to be a boon for students by helping them in covering their syllabus. A report.
Be it catching up to the latest trends, knowing what's going in the surroundings, or just grooving on the melodious tunes of famous voices, the radio does it all for the people of Jammu and Kashmir, who are mostly dependent on this broadcast platform. Even in this era of digital media, radio has not failed to catch the fancy of youngsters in the region. Muhammad Latif, a college student from the Darsu village of the Udhampur district, is a big radio listener. For getting all the daily updates or enhancing his knowledge, he only tuned into radio. While expressing his views, Latif said that radio is his main source of information and he has been listening to it for the last 8 years.
मैं जो है रोज रेडियो सुनता हूँ. रेडियो जो है एक गांव तक लोगों के जो जानकारी पहुंचाने का अच्छा माध्यम है. इससे जो है नौजवानों में जो स्कीमें चल रही हैं, जो बेरोजगार नौजवान हैं, उन तक जो गवर्नमेंट की स्कीमें चल रही हैं वो पहुंचती है. जैसे हमारी देश के वजीर आजम ने कुछ फ्लैगशिप जो कार्यक्रम है वो शुरू किया, जैसे स्वच्छ भारत अभियान है, बेटी बचाओ बेटी पढ़ाओ है. रेडियो से यही फायदा हुआ कि लोगों को, जो लोग खेती बाड़ी करते थे, इनको भी लोगों से पता चला है कि कितना जमीन में खाद डालना है और जो खाद है वो भी देसी डालना है, इसमें जो है दूसरा खाद नहीं डालना है. और जो नौजवान है उन्हें पढ़ाई की जो अच्छी जानकारी मिलती है, जनरल नॉलेज मिलता है, न्यूज़ जो है लोग बच्चे जो नौजवान है वो सुनते रहते हैं. और हमें जो है रेडियो जरूर सुनना भी चाहिए.
Meanwhile, amid COVID-19 crisis, radio has turned out to be a savior for the students who were earlier finding it difficult to learn their lessons without any guidance. AIR Bhadarwa, which covers the entire Doda district, has started airing 1.5 an hour of educational content daily since May 2019 on frequency 101 MHz. This initiative of starting radio classes has been taken by the Jammu and Kashmir's Educational Department and has been benefiting over 45,000 students in the district. The students too are enjoying this new experience and have been religiously attending the classes every morning.
हमें लगता है जो रेडियो के थ्रू एजुकेशन पे जितना भी सारा कुछ आता है वो बहुत ज़्यादा बेनिफिशियल है फॉर दो स्टूडेंट्स हु आर नॉट कनेक्टेड टू स्कूल कोचिंग एंड ट्यूशन्स. इनफैक्ट दे नो ईच एंड एवरीथिंग अबाउट रेडियो. जो रेडियो है ये पहले भी था, आज भी और हमेशा रहेगा.
The history of radio in Jammu and Kashmir dates back to 1947, when the first radio station was established in the region. It was known as Radio Kashmir and further Radio Kashmir Srinagar and Radio Kashmir Jammu. This nomenclature was, however, changed to All India Radio on the eve of withdrawal of the special status of Jammu and Kashmir on August 5, 2019.
Good morning world. Assalamu alaikum, आदाब, नमस्ते, सत श्री अकाल. मैं हूं
While AIR Jammu broadcast in Dogri, Urdu and Hindi, AIR Srinagar broadcast in Kashmiri, Urdu and Hindi. With time, radio listenership has only picked up pace in Jammu and Kashmir, and people say that it's only due to radio that they get to know about the benefits which the federal government is providing to them.
जितना भी गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से कोई भी इंफॉर्मेशन आती है तो वो रेडियो के ज़रिए से हम लोग सुनते हैं, तो इसी से हमें मालूम होता है कि गवर्नमेंट इंडिया से क्या क्या हमें फ़ायदा मिल रहा है.
Not just in Jammu and Kashmir, but radio has continued to evolve across the country. It has not just adapted to the changing tastes, but has also played a major role in bringing people together, especially the Prime Minister radio program Mann Ki Baat.
Recognition is important to bring the best out of people and help them achieve more success. As a result, authorities keep on rewarding the good work with the motive to encourage them so that they keep on performing well in future. In the same line, a regional passport officer of Srinagar division was recently awarded by the Ministry of External Affairs for his outstanding service. Take a look. Srinagar's regional passport officer Brij Bhushan Nagar has been awarded as the best passport officer for his outstanding service towards the country. He is one among the 3 passport officers in the entire country who have been awarded by the Ministry of External Affairs for their excellent service. The others are from Ghaziabad and Jalandhar's passport offices. Brij Bhushan Nagar and his entire staff have been devoting their entire time and energy to the service of citizens in Srinagar.
पासपोर्ट अफसर जो है उसका रिवार्ड है, लेकिन पासपोर्ट अफसर बिना स्टाफ के कुछ नहीं कर सकता. आपको ये बताऊं मैं कि जब तक मेरा स्टाफ अच्छा नहीं होगा, जब तक मेरा स्टाफ काम नहीं करेगा तो पासपोर्ट अफसर कैसे काम करेगा. और विद pride and honor I am quoting that I am having the one of the best staff of the world in this office.
The officers were facilitated through a virtual conference on the occasion of Passport Seva Divas, which is celebrated on 24th of June every year to commemorate the enactment of Passport Act 1967. Working under the guidance of Chief Passport Officer, Srinagar's passport office has remained open in many odd circumstances, be it during abrogation of Article 370 or during the nationwide lockdown because of the virus spread. Passport officers made sure to address grievances of all citizens who are facing hurdles in getting their passports, especially those going on Hajj, which is an annual Islamic pilgrimage to Makkah city in Saudi Arabia.
इवन जब मतलब लोग सड़कों पे पैदल नहीं चल पा रहे थे, डिस्पाइट दैट वी आर इन ऑफिस एंड डूइंग आवर बेस्ट वर्क टू नेशनल सिटीजन्स।
तो कितना हौसला बढ़ा आपको?
ये हमारे लिए बहुत गर्व की बात है। इस बार रीजनल पासपोर्ट ऑफिस श्रीनगर को ये अवार्ड मिला है, ये बहुत बड़ी गर्व की बात है। पूरा एंटायर स्टाफ इनकरेज हो गया इस अवार्ड से। आई एम थैंक्स टू RPO Srinagar and JS Joint Secretary Arun Kumar Chatterjee Saab and the Minister of External Affairs Mr. Jaishankar.
The diligence with which Srinagar's passport officer has performed his duty amid various circumstances makes him well deserving of this award. So, that's all we have for you in this week's episode. Till we see you next week, it's goodbye from the entire production team.
अरे बबलू,